have $700 in cash right here. Mostly 20s, 2 5s, 10 1s, and by the end of this video, every single dollar is going to have a name, a home, and like a good man, a job. Now, whether you have never budgeted a day in your life, or you tried every app and every spreadsheet and still can't figure out where your money went, this video is for you. We are not doing theory today. We're doing it live, and I'll let Wu-Tang Clan explain exactly how I feel about cash.
Cash rules everything around me. Queen, get the money.
Here we go.
Dollar bill, yo.
One of the greatest hip-hop groups in the 1990s penned, "Cash rules everything around me." Who knew that this financial gem hidden in rap lyrics would guide my little life? Because cash does rule everything around me, and it's about to rule everything around you. Now, before we touch a single dollar, I need to ask you something important. How often do you get paid? Because here's where most people blow it before they can even start. They pull out all their flexible spending money all at once, 2 weeks worth, sometimes more, stuff it somewhere, and then wonder why it's gone before the first week is even over. So here are the rules, regardless of how you get paid. We are only going to work in weekly budgets. Let me tap this microphone so y'all hear me. We are only going to work in weekly budgets. Always. Now, if you get paid bi-weekly, like a lot of people, you are going to pull out your full cash amount, but you're going to split it into 2 equal piles right away. One pile for this week and one pile that goes somewhere safe. Whether it's a drawer or envelope, I prefer a lockbox, and you don't touch it until next week. So let's do that. Now, I got $700, so that would be $350. And 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 18, 20, 22, 23, 28, 30, 32, 34, 35, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 35. Okay, you want to see my little video on how I count like a banker? Let me know. I'll drop that one. But I'm going to put $350 over here. That's for next week. And I'm going to keep this $350 to work with for this week. Now, if you get paid monthly, you're going to take your total flexible spending amount and divide it by the number of weeks in the month. Here's a pro tip. Always divide by 5. What'd I say? 5. Always divide by 5, not 4. And here's why that's actually genius. If you divide by 5 every single month, you're automatically challenging yourself to spend a little bit less each week. And when you hit a month that only has 4 weeks long, you'll have money left over because you didn't need that 5th week's money. And that goes straight into a goal or a guilt-free splurge, or maybe a little bit of both. Either way, that's a win for you. Build your own system without even trying. Now, you might be thinking, why weekly? That sounds like a lot of work. I hear you, but I want you to think about it differently. Weekly cash budgeting in the beginning isn't more work, it's more grace. And here's the simplest proof of that. If you overspend by, let's say, Wednesday, it's a whole lot easier to white knuckle it through this Saturday than it is to survive all the way to next Saturday. The shorter the window, the smaller the consequence. And in the beginning, that matters more than most people realize. Here's what else a week gives you that a month or even a 2-week allowance doesn't. It gives you a chance to learn, to see actual patterns without catastrophic consequences. It gives you a chance to pivot. If you blew your grocery budget by Thursday, you get to reset in a few days, not a few weeks. It gives you a chance to discover if your budget was delusional as fuck to begin with in the first place. And listen, I say that with love, friend, because most first budgets are delusional as fuck. We sit down and we write down $75 for grocery because that sounds responsible. And then we get to the store and remember that we have a whole entire family of 4. Weekly budgets let you catch that fast and fix it fast. It gives you a chance to disrupt habits. 1 week is long enough to notice a pattern and short enough to actually challenge it without burning out. So think of weekly cash budgeting like a no-spend week before you ever attempt to do a no-spend month. which I encourage. And if you know me, you know I do a no spend September challenge every year. And the people who survive it, they practiced first. They didn't just leap. They started weekly, they built confidence, and then extended their window. Okay. So I don't want you to have a delusional budget. You're not going to have a delusional budget no more. We're going to start weekly so that you can figure out what is realistic when you finally lock this in. Okay, now let's talk categories because this is where people overthink it and never start. You do not need 15 categories. You need the ones that actually move money out of your pocket every week without you fully realizing it. You need the ones that you tend to overspend on. We call these your day-to-day expenses, and I want you to understand what that means specifically. Now, day-to-day spending is the stuff you typically swipe your card for. They're usually smaller purchases, but they happen multiple times a month. Think gas, groceries, coffee, eating out. These are transactions that add up quietly and quickly. And you look at your bank account on Thursday like, friend, where did it go? This is exactly what cash budgeting is designed to capture. Not your rent, not your car payment, not your insurance. Those are fixed expenses. They stay on auto pay and we leave those alone. Cash budgeting is for variable, daily, swipey stuff that bleeds you out slowly every single week. For me and for this video, I'm working with 5 categories. Gas, groceries and toiletries, eating out and entertainment, personal care, and random shit. Now, let me explain why I combine some of these categories. Because your categories should reflect your life, not a template somebody made for a lifestyle you don't actually have. Now, I combine groceries and toiletries because I do almost all my shopping for groceries at a store like Walmart. Walmart has both toiletries and groceries. One trip, one category, done. But if you are the kind of person who shops at a traditional grocery store and then you coupon your toiletries at Walgreens, for example, those deserve to be in separate categories because you're making separate trips with separate budgets. I combine eating out and entertainment because honestly, I don't like to be outside like that no more. Most of the time, my entertainment at 40-something years old is eating out. Crab's legs is a spiritual experience and it counts as both, friend. But if you have kids and you're doing Chuck E. Cheese and movies and activity fees, entertainment might need its own line. Speaking of kids, when my daughter was younger, I had a whole kids category. And here's why that was one of the smartest things I ever did. If she asked for something and I had the money in that category, the answer could be yes, very easily. If the category was empty, the answer was no. No guilt, no negotiating, no let me see what I can do. The envelope made the decision so I didn't have to. And I also didn't have to feel like I was lying when I said I ain't got it. She's 18 now, has multiple businesses and her own money. So that category is retired, friend. If she needs some money, she better find somebody's nails to do because I ain't got it. She did these, which I think cute. Okay, anyway. Then there's random shit. And I need to talk about this one specifically because it might be the most important category in the whole wallet. It is for me anyway. You know what random shit is. It's the candle at TJ Maxx. It's the scratcher at 7-Eleven. It's the thing you didn't know you needed until you needed it. It's the birthday card you forgot about. Every budget needs this category because life is random and pretending it isn't is why budgets fail. Also, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, a little OCD, if you will, and I know that I'm not alone. A lot of you get completely paralyzed when you can't figure out what category an expense belongs in. Like if you bought a lottery ticket from the gas station, is it gas? Is it entertainment? Is that, you know what? It doesn't matter. It goes in random shit. That category exists as a fail-safe for me. The I don't know where this goes moments that would otherwise make you throw the whole system away is protected here. Because here's the truth. The goal is not a perfect budget. The goal is a budget you actually stick to. And if a catch-all category is what keeps you in the game, then the category is doing its job, friend. All right, we got $700 in hand, but remember, this is a bi-weekly ATM pull. So right now I am splitting it in half. $3.50 goes away to next week, and $3.50 is what we're working with right now. So I'm going to set this aside again. And remember, we've got 5 categories. So let us load this wallet on up. Groceries, I'm giving myself $120. Slap that right in the grocery section. All right. This covers my Walmart runs for the week, groceries, toiletries, whatever the house needs, $120. Gas. Because gas in these streets is getting expensive. This economy is not playing very nice. So I'm giving myself $80 because that's what it takes to fill up my tank right now. And honestly, I could probably do a little bit less because I work from home and so I don't travel as much as I used to. But because when I go to the gas station, I want to fill all the way up, I'm going to put $80 in there. Okay, so $80 is my weekly allowance for gas. Eating out is another $80 for the week. 2, 4, 6, 8. Going to add this to this section back here. Now, being a foodie is a lifestyle, and I have accepted that about myself. But when I see $80 in my hand, slowly dwindling down to 10, it hits differently, and I really start to be mindful of whether or not I need to supersize what I ordered. Okay, I really start to look at, like, do I really need the extra, dessert or whatever, because I'm on a diet. That's what I say. Anyway, like I said, seeing the cash in my hand and paying for that food hits a little bit different when I'm using cash rather than swiping a card 3 times and logging into my account to see the damage that I did much later. Okay, so we're on to personal care now, and I'm only giving myself $40 for personal care because the girl got locks. You know what I mean? So what am I doing, right? And my daughter does my nails now, and I deeply invest in her business, and that's what's paying for that, right? So I don't need a whole lot when it comes to personal care. So I'm throwing myself $40 in there, but that covers hair, nails, massages, whatever I need that week to feel like a human being. And it's non-negotiable that I put something there because I want to do something to take care of myself personally. And then the last category is random shit. And for that, I'm giving myself a $30 buffer. Okay. And that is going to go into the last section of the wallet. All right. Now, don't judge me. Just budget for it like I do. Okay. That is $350 nicely organized and loaded into this wallet. Every dollar has a name. Every dollar has a home. That is a budget. So now that it's loaded, how do you track it without it becoming a whole second job? Let me share my lazy girl method. And I'm not ashamed to say that I am a financial coach who likes to take the lazy route. For the lazy girl method, your receipts are your log. Every time you spend from a category, you put the receipts in that section of your wallet. And at the end of the week, the receipts tell you what you spent. The cash that's left tells you what you saved. You don't need an app. You don't need a spreadsheet. It doesn't matter if your phone died and you didn't remember the name of the app, much less the password to use the app, because the wallet is doing the work. All you have to remember is to get the receipt and put it in the right category. Okay? And at the end of the week, when you're counting what's left, that leftover cash is your win. It's physical. You can hold it. You can count it. You could feel it in a way that a bank balance going up by $25 just doesn't feel. Your brain, especially if it's wired like mine, needs to see the win to want to do this again next week. The cash makes the win visible. This is what staying in budget looks like. Not a number on a screen. This. Now, what happens when a category runs out before the week is over? First, this is information. It is not failure. Your budget is talking to you, so listen to it. You have a few options. You can go without until the next week. You probably got enough food in your house if you run out of grocery money, right? Sometimes that's the right answer and your future self will thank you. You can also borrow from a different category within this week's budget. If gas prices spike and you need to pull $10 from the random shit to cover it, then that makes sense. Move the money intentionally and consciously. But if you're consistently borrowing from your grocery money to fund your random shit purchases, that is not a cash flow problem. That's a pattern. And the move there isn't to borrow. The move is to go without and revisit your budget entirely because something is delusional and needs to be adjusted. The one thing I will not tell you to do is borrow from next week's envelope. Leave this money alone. That is a bad habit dressed up as a solution, and we're not doing that here. The envelope running out is the boundary working. Honor it. Now, let's talk about this little cute thing that I have been holding. This is the Cream Collection Cash Budget Wallet. And yes, I designed it. And before I get into why I love it, other than the fact that I designed it, I need to say this loud and clear. Let me tap the mic. So y'all, you do not need this wallet to cash budget. Your grandma did it with paper envelopes and a rubber band, binder clips and sticky notes, a note card and a Sharpie stuffed in your regular wallet. I was absolutely the girl with labeled envelopes at the bottom of my purse before I designed anything. Function first, always. But when I decided to take this seriously, I wanted something that didn't make me feel like I was doing homework. I didn't want to look like I was on a budget. I wanted something that I could pull out at brunch or on a date and not feel some kind of way about it. Now, honestly, I don't know why I would have a wallet out on a date ever. So maybe not that part, but either way, I wanted something organized enough for my ADHD brain, cute enough for my personality, and it didn't exist, so I designed it. It has sections for at least 5 spending categories, a zipper pocket for your coins and overflow. It has a magnetic closure for security. It has a crossbody strap so you could be hands-free. It also has a clutch strap in case you want to carry it like that. And if you're going to be like me today and you want to carry a completely different bag, you can take this off. Child, I ain't used to my nails. You can take it off and simply wear it as a wallet and still be able to mix up your look. Okay? There's also a longer crossbody strap that I don't have on here now, but you can wrap around your waist to wear this as a fanny pack, all right? It is also branded with a subtle nod to the culture, okay? Because wealth-building accessories can be cute, and you are allowed to feel young, rich, and rooted at all times, and I will die on that hill. Now, here's me keeping it all the way honest. This wallet is not available yet. Depending on when you're watching this, it might be. Go look on my website. Okay. I am still trying to finish the final prototype. Okay. Love it, but I need the label sections to be a little bit bigger before I release it to y'all. And I am working on securing funding to bring it to full production. And I'm telling you that on purpose because I want you in from the beginning. But even if you're not, and you just found my page and I have already launched the wallet collection, I still want you in the club of fine-ass frugal fashionistas, okay? Not just as a customer, as somebody who was there when this little black girl's wallet collection was still trying to become a household name and change financial lives one cash budget at a time. The waitlist link or the buy link, depending on when you're seeing this, is in the description. Go put your name on it and tell me what color I should drop next. If this video was helpful to you, you ain't got to pay me in cash. Just pay me in follows and comments. Are you going to try this? Are you going to challenge yourself to a cash budget this week? Drop a comment and let me know. And if you are, tell me what your categories are going to be. I want to see them. And if you try this and you keep running out of money in the same category every single week, that's data, not a reason to bully yourself. The budget is trying to tell you something. Your budget might have been delulu from the start. Look at me. telling you not to bully yourself, and then here I am telling you it was delusional. Well, you are not delusional, but let me hold your hand when I say this. Your budget probably is. Next video is going to help you figure out if it is and how to get your real life numbers so that it's no longer delusional. I'll see you there.
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money.
Here we go.
Dollar
Shake
bill,
this shit.
yo.